Five, four, three, two, one. Hey!
Hello.
What's going on, world? My name is Kamal J. Pryor, aka Quiz. I'm the proud founder and CEO of QuizMax Inc. I am joined here today on another phenomenal program of Branding Made Easy with business resource specialist Mr. Brian Lath. If this is the first time you come into our program, you've been doing yourself a huge disservice to this point. I highly urge you to pay attention to some of the information we cover on this program today. And also, if you haven't done so, I would say to do so now, if not immediately. Click the subscribe button found beneath. You're going to find some stuff here that's going to really take your game to the next level if you're an online marketer, if you're an online business person, or just a person in general who just likes to market and likes making money off of various programs online. This is the program to watch. Brian Lath, how you doing, my friend?
Well, I am doing great. Thank you very much, Quiz. And we are going to have an amazing episode tonight on email marketing, plus few other really amazing, wonderful, cool things. And we've got a wonderful guest panel here, Michael. And Michael, feel free to ask us any questions you have as we go, because this is going to be exciting and a lot of fun. So, Quiz, I'm going to hand it back to you.
All right, awesome. Well, listen, it's always a pleasure to be here. And, it's also a blessing. It's also a blessing, all right? What I'd like to talk about to get things started is, Brian, I was talking to you a little bit about some stuff I was talking about in a meeting last week. In my QuizMax Inc. Social Media Professionals, every morning I host a meeting at 7 a.m. It usually lasts for about an hour. And you were asking me to go over a couple of things, talking about something I said in regard to how we want to do things here, as far as finding information and people being qualified. Should I cover that first, or do you want me to get into a little bit about people building? All right.
Yes.
So I'll start off here. One of the major mistakes a lot of people make, and when it comes down to, and that's why I like being on Branding Made Easy, because this talks about some stuff that a lot of people maybe don't know the finer points of. But when I decided to do QuizMax Inc., I already had a really good idea, a really good concept for what I was doing, and it was based around my wants, my desires, my needs, my experiences. And when you're trying to find somebody to prospect when you're going into business, a lot of places where people make a mistake is that they don't spend enough time to really find out about their prospect. And when you're in sales, you want to do qualification, which means that you want to find out, is somebody actually eligible to do the business that you want to offer them. You want to make sure that it's something that they want to do, that they maybe need to do, or have a desire to do, or something that fits their best interest also. And there's no way to do that if you don't ask questions. Now, I've often said that the person who controls the conversation, all right, the person who controls the conversation is the person who asks the most questions. The person who asks the most questions. So one of the major mistakes that people make in the industry is that they spend so much time trying to push their product on somebody that they miss the opportunity to qualify them. They miss the opportunity to ask key questions. They miss the opportunity to find out, is this something that somebody wants, needs, desires, or has an interest or a use for? And if you don't do that, then you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Now, one of the things with QuizMax Inc., I spend more time trying to build people's strengths and minimize their weaknesses. It's something that I find is really efficient, and especially when you're trying to bring that and tie it all together towards something that you're doing that's branding. So one of the major mistakes people make in the industry, aside from the fact that they don't take enough time to qualify the prospects, they want people to sign up quite naturally. They want to talk about the business opportunity quite naturally. But you want to take time to learn about people. You want to be genuinely interested in people. You want to ask questions that are directly in somebody's interest. And if you're doing that sort of stuff, then you'll find out, does this person want your opportunity? Why is that? Because not every person is fit for your business opportunity, and a lot of people spend their time trying to bring people into businesses that they aren't interested in. So what I want you to do is stop doing that if you're making that mistake. Please stop doing that. Make sure a person has an adequate understanding of your business opportunity, but before you do that, make sure they have an adequate understanding of why it benefits them. And make sure that you find out what their needs are before you even get into that. So that's a major mistake people make. I want them to stop making that mistake. And I want to actually add a little something to that. Do you mind if I add one more thing to that, Brian?
Go ahead.
All right. Well, another mistake I see people make in a business, and this really relates directly to branding, is this. You know, a lot of people spend all of their time like, they got a great business opportunity. This opportunity is great. I've seen people who, like, every week they have a different great business opportunity. And what happens is eventually you're like tired of hearing about that person's great business opportunity, because if their opportunity was so great, then why are you in a different one than the one you were in last week? So stop doing that. That's a major mistake. People see through that. You know, they see through it just like a plexiglass when they're about to slam dunk. Like, boom. You know, I'm a basketball person, so realistically, you don't want to be a person that jumps. You don't want to be seen as a waffler. So how do you stop yourself from being that person if your businesses aren't working? Well, here's how you do it. When you're bringing a person into a business, and we're talking about prospecting, and you want to build this around your brand, you want to spend time understanding one fine point. You do not want to spend your time building a business. That opportunity is crappy, and you're probably not going to be in the next week. Look, that's your reputation anyway. I mean, that's your track record, right? You haven't been in business, you haven't been successful at business, so you jump to another business, you jump to another business, and you didn't ever spend time to figure out one thing. Stop spending your time building your business. What you want to do is build your people and let the people build the business.
You lose your credibility that way when you jump from business to business to business. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
But wait, here's how you gain your credibility back. Here's how you gain your credibility back, Mike. Watch this.
Okay.
So now you got somebody in your crappy business. Now you got somebody in one of your crappy business opportunities, right? Before you go jump ship to another opportunity, fall back, get with that person that you brought into this opportunity, and build them up. Give them every opportunity to succeed. Get them in touch with key people. Get them in touch with resources. Get them in tune with the business. Learn a little bit more about the business yourself. Because if you build this person, they'll build your business for you. One solid person on your downline can really make a difference whether you're able to succeed or fail the business. And so what I want you to do is, if you really want to succeed, build the people, not the business. All right? The business is going to be there. It's going to do what it does. Focus on building the people that you bring into the business. If the people build them, if you build the people well enough, then they will build the business for you. And now you can save face. Maybe not have to jump into another opportunity. Maybe you'll actually find some success at the one that you're in. So I think that's important, and it goes very well with your brand. Because let's say that that business is a good business, and then it goes out of business. Now you're stuck running around looking like that guy with that business. You know, so you would definitely want to make sure you spend more time building your people. Build your brand around you building your people, in fact, and build the brand more so around you. Brian, does that make sense? Or do you think that was a good point there?
Absolutely. And did you also want to go into the analogy that I was mentioning earlier?
Oh yeah, about the assembly line stuff. All right,
Yeah.
great. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like when I'm talking about building people right now, and this is all in tune with the exact same stuff, man. I just like the way this stuff just rolls, man. It's like I'm in my 300C, man. I go from gear 1, gear 2 to gear 3, like I'm just popping a clutch, right? So let's move into the next gear here. We're in the business of, if you're an online marketer or a work from home person and you're building a business based off of a business, well, let me share something with you. I just told you about building the people, not the business, because if you build the people will build the business for you. That is the business that we're in. We are in the business of building people. And so we start with a raw product, and the raw product that we start with is people. This person followed me into a business. They followed me. It didn't make a difference about the opportunity. They followed me. I need to take accountability of myself, and I need to build strong people. They cannot be strong if I'm not strong in my knowledge base in the opportunity, if I'm not strong in information of what I have to offer them to help them get to where they want to get in life. So if I can't build this person, then what I'm doing is a huge disservice to them, and I'm destroying my own credibility. So I want you to stop doing that. I want you to spend time to understand that this is a business about building people. All right, and if it's directly in tune with what I just got finished speaking about, you want to make sure that you understand that you're going to bring in one person. You want to maximize their strengths, minimize some of their weaknesses. Listen, nobody's perfect. Everybody has character flaws. Everybody, myself, yourself, everybody. Nobody is perfect. All right, there are going to be things that some people. There's going to be somebody who's really great at something that you're not good at. Don't hold them back. Let them do what it is that they do best, because it'll suit them. Because this is a perfect thing that you want to do for branding. They can't brand themselves off of you. They need to brand themselves off of themselves. So again, build your people. Don't build your people based off of themselves and their strengths. Let them do what it is that they're good at. Minimize their weakness by helping them in areas that they're not that great at. For example, how this operates is I have a guy who's in my downline. This guy is a really, really passionate person. He has a lot of heart, a lot of courage. He loves the program, but he is just not good at recruiting. He's not really great at getting all the information together, but he's really, really good at being supportive and motivation. Well, I'm going to let him do what he does, all right? But when it comes down to recruiting, I'm going to say, hey, how about we do some three-way calls? That way, he can start to begin to learn the process of what it takes to actually bring a person that they're interested in the business, and they don't have all of the facts. They're not spending too much time learning all of the facts, so they just have, maybe they don't even have all the ability to actually learn all the facts in a short period of time, but they're hungry, they're passionate. Let them do the things that let them focus on the areas that they thrive in, all right, and you can handle some of the other areas. And when you can learn how to handle the areas where other people are weak in while allowing them to do things that they're strong in, then their brand will grow naturally, which means that they'll be able to attract the people that are naturally attracted to them. I call this natural marketing. Natural marketing is when, like Mike, you might like to fix motorcycles and Harley Davidsons, right? Well, use that as your strength, all right? Use it as your strength. So
I like to play pool.
All right, you like to play pool. I have a pool table in the backyard, right? So listen, you like to play pool, right? So listen, what we'll do is all right, Mike, talk about pool. You know, show them how much you love to play pool. Attract some people who like to play pool. Share things that you have their common interest in. I might not have any interest in that whatsoever, but I'm going to let you do what you do with your pool people, all right? And then what's going to happen is that you're going to become naturally attractive to people who are in that niche. And when people in that niche are attracted to you, then you can become marketable because now you have something to offer them.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you if there's a particular maybe set of questions that you might use when you're talking to somebody as kind of as qualifying questions. You know, you ask them you're having a conversation with somebody, you start asking them, what do you do? What do you do? What does that entail? What are you looking for? Are you, do you want to make more money? I mean, is there a set of qualifying questions where you can kind of get a feel whether or not your particular opportunity is right for that person?
Brian, I love this question right here. Because this is a really intelligent question, and you're going to come across that point. Now, watch this, Mike. You want to ask people questions to qualify them. But let me share something with you that's a major mistake. Nobody likes to get interrogated. So I'm actually talking about the baseball diamond of sales. All last week I did a training on it. Brian, I understand that you actually put the baseball diamond of sales beneath this video somewhere. So if you're watching this video and you want to know about how the proper way to use sales mechanics, all right, listen, this is a freebie for you. This is one of the reasons why you need to watch Brandon Made Easy, because we're like Crazy Eddie. We're insane. We just give away information, right? Get beneath this video. First off, click the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you agree with some of the stuff I'm talking about here. If you find this stuff useful or beneficial, definitely leave a comment on YouTube. Most people who find practical use out of it have already done it. If not now, they're doing it immediately at the moment. All right, so you want to do that. Just make a decision to do such. Get beneath this video, find a baseball diamond of sales, and now you're going to learn proper mechanics. Because what I'm talking about right now is going to directly relate to what I talk about in my baseball diamond of sales. Now, when you start your sale process off, the first thing you want to talk about is, see, this is where people make a mistake. Watch this, Mike. Hey, I have this great business opportunity. Hey, Mike, hey, I'm sure, hey, can I talk to you about this great business opportunity I have going on, Mike? Can I talk to you about it real quick, right? And Mike, you say, all right, yeah, sure, Quiz, talk to me about it, right? Now watch this. What do you expect them to talk to you about next, Mike?
Yeah, that's probably not the right approach from everything I've been told. All right, but listen. You want to learn something about somebody before you just start throwing your business out there.
Listen, let me ask you a question, Mike. If I said that to you and you agreed to it, what do you think the next thing that I'm gonna do is?
You're probably gonna recruit me into your business. Try to make me pay some money to join you.
I said I have this great business opportunity. I said, Mike, I have this great business opportunity. It's a really great business opportunity, man. Listen, you really need to hear about it. And you agree. You say, all right, Quiz, I'll let you listen. You sound really excited about it. All right, talk to me about your business opportunity. You think that I'm going to talk to you about this business opportunity, right?
Right?
Exactly. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to talk to you about the business opportunity at all. I'm going to blow your mind. Watch. Hey, you know, my name is Kamal J. Pryor. I'm originally from Queens. You know, my grandmother, she used to be a federal agent, and she taught me some really, really great things when I grew up. You know, she was the first person I knew who owned a house in Florida and in New York at the same time. And when the winter came around, you know how the birds fly south for the winter? My grandmother used to do the same thing. That's why they call them snowbirds. You know what a snowbird is, Mike?
No, I don't.
No, you don't know what a snowbird is? Well, listen, check it out. A snowbird is a term they use for a person who lives in more than one place and location. And see, the great thing about my grandmother living in Florida is that when my grandmother lived in Florida, that meant when I was a kid, I got an opportunity in the summers. Watch this. This is so cool. I got an opportunity to ride all the way down the East Coast to Florida to go to Disney World. So I got a chance to see Mickey Mouse. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you something, man. Those are some of the greatest memories in my life. My grandmother, driving down to Florida with my cousins, my brother, going down to Florida, just being able to get a chance to go to Disney World. And I had a lot of great, great, great memories I accumulated with my family. Now, Mike, I'm sure you have a family. Did you used to do family vacations and stuff like that?
Sure.
Where was your favorite place to go when you were vacationing, Mike?
Well, we went to Disneyland once, which was really fun.
Oh man, Disneyland! I heard that you could fit Disneyland in the parking lot of Disney World. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I've never been there. I've only been on the East Coast. But the point that I'm making is that I had really got a chance to spend a lot of time with my grandmother, and it was a really great thing. Now, unfortunately, we only have but so much time in life, and eventually it's over. And my grandmother passed away at the age of 94. Now I'm gonna stop right there. Now you notice that I began talking to you about this great business opportunity, and I haven't talked to you about anything with a business opportunity at all.
You told your story.
All right, but listen to this. Was my story relatable? Did you relate to my story?
Yeah, I related to it. It was entertaining.
Do you feel better about me as a person being that I've told you that story?
For sure.
All right, and do you relate to me?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, now, do you like me? Do you think that this is the type of person that you might like to actually do business with? Now, thinking about it in retrospect from where we started our conversation on.
Sure.
Did I jam my idea down your mind that you need to join this business?
Not yet, but.
All right, wait, hold on. Do you even know what business I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea.
No idea. And watch, I'm going to share something with you. It doesn't make a difference what business opportunity you have to offer or what business it is. Stop trying to jam your idea for your business down somebody's throat. Now, before we find out about how to qualify them, because you asked me about qualifying them, once you notice there's nothing I said here that sounds like I'm qualifying you, right?
Right.
Because I haven't got to that point yet. So if you interrupt me in the middle of my story, let's say that you said, Quiz, listen, I thought that you were going to talk about this great business opportunity. How much? When do I sign up? Where is it? I'm going to say, excuse me, Mike. Listen. Right now, listen, you're on page 17, and I'm only on page, 1. Do you mind if I finish, Mike? Do you mind? And now when I ask you that question, it's a yes or no question, and the respectful and courteous thing to do would be say, sure. And thank you. So I'm going to continue where I left off at. I'm not going to rush all the way off into page 75 because that was a major mistake, and that's where most people mess up. Now, what if you said, hey, I really don't have time for all of this? I said, great. We can talk about this some other time later on. Boom. And we'll leave it at that. Now, let's get directly to this question that you asked. Qualifying questions. How do you ask qualifying questions? Nobody likes to be interrogated. I'm not going to sit around and ask you 1,000,001 questions like you're in a hot seat. First off, I'm going to connect you to my story so that you feel comfortable talking to me. While I'm talking to you, I'm going to ask you simple questions. Hey, do you have family? Ask you things that relate to you to relate to me. Now you start to connect to me on my story.
Create rapport.
We're working on a person-to-person level now. Now on a person-to-person level, now I'm going to get into qualifying questions. I do not believe in scripts at all, Mike. I don't. But I do think that there are key things that you want to find out from your person. What do we want to find out? I want to find out, can this person afford my opportunity?
Right.
Questions I want to ask around that. Well, what do you do? What do you do with your free time, Mike? All right, boom. All right, now Mike starts talking to me about what he does with his free time. All right, great. Hey, what are your hobbies? What kind of stuff do you enjoy doing when you're not doing whatever it is you do for work? Nice question. It's not too invasive. They're open up. and you'll find that most people like to talk about themselves. Now they start getting comfortable talking about themselves. Let them talk freely about themselves. Canvas for information is something that I call an ear-mouth ratio. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and I'm not talking about how much you talk, but I'm talking about how much you listen. You want to listen twice as much as you talk. I talk about that also in some of my videos as far as sales. So there's wonderful ways to do. So the things that we want to find out is objection material. Is your wife at home? Does she make decisions? Do you have income coming in? Are you interested in an opportunity? Find out something that's of value to that person. Do they have children? Do they have a mother? Do they have a family? What is it about this person that makes them tick? Find out key questions find out answers to questions like these. Take time and discovery. Don't rush through it. Be personable and allow them to express themselves freely. Get all of this information inside yourself. Absorb it. And now you're eventually ready to do something very simple, which is make your idea that your opportunity is a great opportunity for them, and now you're going to transfer the feeling to them about how good the opportunity is and how good you feel about it. And sales is no more than transfer of feeling, so they'll feel that, and what they'll do in return is they will receive that information, and if you keep on casually, they will receive your idea like as if it was their very own, because you've appealed to the things that are of interest to them. Does that sound like it made sense to you right there, Mike?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, man. You should be a salesman.
I am. And sales, and listen, in a company, sales is the greatest skill asset to have in a company, because there's a lot of things in your company, but reality of things is that sales definitely relates to the bottom line, and if you can't operate your bottom line, and you're not going to do very well in your business. So even if you're building a business, you want to at least have a couple of people who are at least decent at sales and work on these abilities.
No, that was perfect, Quiz, and I'm glad that you answered that question the way you did, because I think that's going to help a lot of people out. That was really well put the way you did that.
Yeah, well, it's actually this is actually what you get with being part of a member of QuizMax Inc. I give personal training. I have everybody in QuizMax Inc. Team QuizMax right now is actually doing role playing all last week, and Brian could tell you I got everybody getting with each other, and because sales is random. Somebody's going to ask a question here, somebody's going to ask a question there, but knowing the good mechanics of sales is really what's important. So, Brian, I think I really kind of led into I may have got a little bit further into that than maybe I really intended to, but it was a good question that Mike asked, and I love this program Brandon made easy. So let's get to some of the stuff that you have on the agenda here, Brian.
All right. Well, yes, Quiz, you did an excellent job, and Michael, I want to ask you a quick question if I can.
Sure.
Earlier this week, you and I had talked about the Eric Worre GoPro.
Yes.
I've listened to the audiobook, and you told me you've read his actual book.
Yes, I have. The GoPro book by Eric Worre, great book.
In that book, does he talk about personal strengths that each person has and how they can relate those strengths to develop prospects?
Yeah, I believe so. It's been a little bit since I read it, so I couldn't tell you word for word what he says about that, but yes.
But does he have like a thing in there where maybe like if you're a writer that you can use ways you can use your writing? I just remember there's two possible sources, and I can't remember if it was Eric Worre's stuff or if it was another person's stuff. Does like he talk about like blogging if you're a writer and doing videos if you're a speaker?
I'm not sure about that. I can't remember that much about it.
It's possibly another source where I heard.
Yeah, I'm not like you. I read so much and.
Hey, but listen, if I may interject, I would definitely say that's great stuff. That's playing to people's strengths. You definitely that's stuff that I would 1,000% endorse. If you're a writer, write. If you're a speaker, speak. If you're a motivational guy, motivate. If you're a guy who likes to, if you're a nutritionist, do nutrition. Basically, I say a couple of things here, QuizMax, saying giving is living, sharing is caring, and learning is earning. If you cover any of those areas and you offer information freely, then what happens is people will be attracted to you. It's called a part of attraction marketing. So I definitely endorse those things strongly. Brian, I'm not exactly sure where you got that information from, and if it's Eric Worre, let me tell you something. Go out and get his stuff because it sounds like he's on something.
Yeah, I just to throw this out there. Sorry, I don't want to waste too much time, but he also had a big conference with a bunch of network marketing guys, and they did a DVD called The Rise of the Entrepreneur, and that DVD I got, and I mean it's amazing, and it goes through. They talk to all kinds of different people that are involved in our industry, and it actually goes through why we should be doing what we're doing, and why the need is for what we're doing in this type of a business, and how it should work. And it's a great, and it's not a very long DVD, and I think it was only like about $15, $10, something like that. But it's a great little DVD, and they interview a lot of really successful people in the industry. So if anybody's interested, go on to Eric Worre's website and purchase that DVD. You'll like it.
Awesome, awesome. I can't wait to interview you in one of those. Till we get you interviewed in one of those DVDs, Mike.
I'll be there someday, Quiz.
Oh, it'll be quick. It'll be sooner than later, man. Believe me, I already know.
All right. Well, we are continuing to roll along, and this has already been an amazing episode, and we still have a bunch more really cool stuff to go. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here. And I've got some cool things here I want to show. All right. So I posted this on Facebook a couple days ago, and this
guy's got me laughing right now.
Yeah. This is a tattoo that somebody did. Looks like on their arm.
Oh my goodness! What a fail!
I just want to say, when I'm talking about branding made easy and branding yourself, this is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, I wrote somewhere else. I believe I wrote it on TSU. But you want to, basically what Quiz mentioned when we first started this show tonight is he mentioned that when people join the business, they're actually joining you. So you are the brand. Like I'm branding myself several ways. One of the ways I'm branding myself is through the site brandingmadeeasy.com. I don't, necessarily have that tied directly to a specific company, but I'm basically tied to this training that I'm doing. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, unfortunately, what happens sometimes in the industry is companies go out of business. So this company, Wake Up Now, has struggled for a while and then now gone out of business. So I don't know what this person is going to have to do with their arm here, but they're going to have that ink there for quite a while.
Let me ask you a question. You think that guy woke up now? You think he's woken up now?
Yeah.
I was actually with that business for a while, and I dropped out right before they went out of business.
You chose the right timing, man. It's a good thing you didn't talk to me about that business before they went out of business, because you would hate to see what I was doing. You hate to see what I was doing to Wake Up Now people. I love that business, man. I wish they were still around.
Yeah. Sometimes we can't control everything. But I saw this graphic a couple days ago, and I don't know if I can't remember who put this out there. Is this something you put out there, Quiz?
Oh no, that's definitely not me. But I like it though. That looks like who probably did that. I think that's Sean Roberts. Shout out to Sean Roberts. S for Success KMX. That guy is really bad. You got to give him a lot of credit, man. He's doing phenomenal.
So it might be Sean Roberts who. So thanks a lot, Sean. This when I saw this one, it really kind of struck me as something more cooler than cool, and basically what this is a social media graphic that you can use when you post an image or a video with your social media post. You're going to get a little bit more attention to it, and this kind of graphic here where it says "This just in, you're awesome." Like if you just recently became friends and made a social connection with somebody on one of the social media networks, you should post this on their wall, saying, "Hi, John, I just think you're awesome, and I'm so glad we're friends." And then attach this graphic. Now, I've been having some success with Fiverr lately, and I came across. I haven't used this guy yet, but isn't this awesome? This guy can take this photo. So this is what you submit. Okay, you give him your photo, and he can either draw like a head and shoulders shot, or he can draw like a full body shot.
It's awesome.
And he charges $5 for the headshot, and he charges $15 if you want to do this. So in this picture, as you can see, the guy's wearing this kind of suit. But there's another photo here where the guy's wearing, like a non-suit type of shirt, but he put him in a suit. Okay? And if you look, it really looks like the guy. There's an example here of a lady. I think he just does a really amazing artwork. I'm pretty impressed for $15. Are you, Quiz?
I like it. First off, I love Fiverr because it's a great place to us. It's like what is it? The discount, the wholesale of outsourcing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. Wholesale, you get reduced costs. Yeah, I mean, you might get somebody who's low quality work, but I think this is pretty high quality work for $5 to $15.
Listen,
So
man, if you went to Times Square and somebody did that, you'd have to get that guy at least 20.
yeah, so I'm gonna hire this guy. You can see his name here on the screen. Give him a search. He says he's got 2 hour response time for $15. I mean, you can't beat that.
No, that's awesome.
So yeah, it took me. I had to look through a lot of guys to find somebody that I felt was this good. So so I'm gonna definitely submit one of my photos, have him draw me up in a suit like that, because I think if I took a photo, I'm not impressed with what I look like, but I think this guy could make me look kind of nice and trim. So I'm actually gonna want this arm to be like given like a high five or like a thumbs up. So that's kind of how I want mine to be drawn. But yeah, pretty happy with that. So I'm going to favorite this so I don't lose that one again. And then, okay, so what I wanted to say, getting back to this, is I'm going to have this guy draw me like that, and then I'm going to be able to use that image that he drew me, and you can take a simple. There's a lot of really awesome graphics editing programs out there nowadays, and so you could get like a little computer and make it look like you're sitting at a desk. I mean, you can basically recreate this image, something similar to this. Put the character drawing of you in there, and then you could maybe you can take the word news out. I don't know. I do like how it says news. This just in. You're awesome. Now, do you see how it says something here? I can't really read it, but that's an example of branding. So I'd encourage you to somehow maybe there's a hashtag you're associated with or a website. You can put that in there. Maybe if you're real active on Twitter, you might want to put your Twitter handle. And then you can put the little logos of the social medias like Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, whichever ones you are most prominently out there on, and to just let people know that this is how they can connect with you, and it's not like in their face, and you're really also saying, hey, I think you're awesome. So, Quiz, do you have anything you want to add to that little idea?
First off, I think that it's a phenomenal idea, and it's great especially with attraction marketing. One thing that you want to do on social media is you want to connect with people. That's the first thing. I talk about this all the time in Quizmax Sing Social Media Professionals. Say, what's rule number one of being a social media professional? Being social, right? So what is more cool than if you have a new friend on Facebook or TSU or one of these social sites, Twitter or etc. What is more cool than you acknowledge them and make them feel special by visiting their wall, which is what they want. See, everybody has the same exact needs. That's the thing that people don't understand. Facebook has become so narcissistic these days that people just forget this. I have groups where I have people who are in there who call themselves marketers, and they go in there and like my anti-gravity fly group. You want me to see your promotion, but when you come in there, you post your ad, and you don't like anybody's thing, you don't comment on anybody else's thing, you don't interact with anybody. That's a mistake. What you're talking about doing here is not a mistake. This is what you want to do. You want to reach out. You want to make them know that you're there. You want to make them know that you're seeing their page, and you want to make them feel good about themselves. And you transfer that feeling, and they'll transfer the feeling back to you. So I think that's a phenomenal thing that you're pointing out there, Brian.
All right. So tonight's topic is going to be about email marketing. And last week we talked about the introduction to the funnel. Okay, so I'm going to explain, kind of go back up a little bit and then explain where we're headed tonight. Is these green arrows represent traffic coming into either a video or just an opt-in page. Okay, so where you're capturing somebody's information, you're capturing their email address, and then it comes down whether you may or may not have an email confirmation, but after you capture the email, there eventually is an email follow-up sequence. So this email follow-up sequence is what we are talking about tonight in a topic called email marketing. I want also take one little step back here. In my experience, I have a little bit of experience doing some email marketing for companies, and what we call an autoresponder, there's actually two parts to an autoresponder. The autoresponder, if you're looking for an autoresponder right now that you want to get involved with, I would encourage you to look for an autoresponder that has something called a broadcast feature, as well as the same autoresponder should also have the ability for you to create an email follow-up series. Now, a lot of the businesses out there that hired me, they primarily used the broadcast feature. Okay, so like they were collecting emails off of their website and other methods, so they were always building their list in that manner. But they didn't have anything like when the people joined the list, they didn't have any kind of follow-up sequence they were sending out. But every Friday, or at least once a week, they would always give me information that I would compile and design them an email that would go out to all their subscribers. So they used the broadcast feature. So I feel the broadcast feature is probably the most popular feature most people use, okay, because that's really good in network marketing. Like if you want to let people know of an upcoming conference call, an upcoming webinar, if you want to let them know maybe about something that just recently did happen, you could create a blog post about it, write a little story about it, and then send out an email linking to your blog post. Okay, and that's a couple ways you can use the broadcast feature. Tonight, however, I'm going to talk specifically about this email follow-up sequence, which is the other part of an autoresponder. So that's what I'm going to get into now. So essentially, when we talk about our overall big picture of a funnel, we're really just talking about this little area right here. So I'm going to close this out, and here's my new diagram for tonight. So here is the email sequence, okay, and I've got a couple of little things I want to talk about here. About 24 hours ago, this is a fresh email, so it's 22 hours ago, from Steve and Rachel. Stephen and Lanacia is his wife. Steve and Lanacia Rachel. They sent me this email, and the title of it is, "He sponsored 84 people in 48 hours, Brian." I actually thought Steve is a really good recruiter, so I thought maybe he was talking about himself. But he goes, "Hi, Brian," and this is an example of a broadcast message, okay? It's not a sequential message. I'm on, he's got a GVO autoresponder. I'm on his list, but this is an example of a broadcast message that Steve has sent out using autoresponder. And in doing that, he didn't actually write that email to me, even though it looks like it's to me. He used a feature within the autoresponder that actually merges the letters, or merges the email against the database so that every one of the emails comes out making it look like it's personalized. So it says, "Hi Brian, my jaw dropped when my friend and mentor contacted me the other day and told me about how he sponsored 84 new distributors in his primary business in just 48 hours. Now, if you think about, isn't that amazing? That's like is that like 2 people an hour? Pretty close. Pretty close to 2 people an hour. Imagine if you could sponsor 2 people every hour. How good would your business be, Quiz?
Oh, it'd be bananas.
So this guy did 84 distributors in 2 days. That's 2 days. And can you even imagine something like that? So you're thinking, okay, what was his secret? This was his secret. When you begin to realize the incredible power and leverage of the internet and building your own list of laser-targeted prospects, the reality of exploding your business like this starts to become a feasible feat. Understanding that network marketing is still and always will be a business of relationships. The more relationships you can create, the bigger you can build your network, the more leverage you have to build your business. As you build your list, Brian, you are making new relationships. So he's probably doing this maybe to invite people to a webinar where he's going to talk about a blueprint of how this person did that business. But I just wanted to give you an example of somebody who used their list and their autoresponder to have a dynamic recruiting potential. Now, what I want you to take away from that is the person built their list, okay? So they probably used the email sequence as well as the broadcasting feature to develop strong relationships with the people on their list, okay? And the benefit of doing that is when they found that new business opportunity, they were able to sponsor those 84 people in 48 hours. So that is the potential. So Michelle Pesco-Solido, I was recently on one of the webinars she did, and she was talking about Facebook marketing, and she literally said on this webinar that if you have a Facebook business page, and right now all of her webinars are driven along telling all of us that we should not be promoting business on our personal pages, but we should be promoting our business, even our network marketing business, on our actual business page, which is called a fan page. She said that if you're not actually buying Facebook ads with your fan page, your reach is going to be very, very low. So I'm going to kind of twist that information and say, well, that means it's very, very important for you to have an autoresponder and to have a list. Because having that, it's great to have a fan page. But it sounds to me like even if you do have a fan page and you have an audience on your page, you're going to have to keep spending money to have reach on that audience. But if you have an autoresponder, you basically have on-demand traffic. As long as you have a good relationship with all those people on your list, you have on-demand traffic that you can send a message out and then have people come and do whatever it is that you're asking them to do based on whatever you say in your email. Ryan Dice is also an excellent marketer out there. And every once in a while, it's very valuable when he gives out a free webinar because he doesn't do that very many free ones. The ones he does usually cost quite a bit of money, usually at least $97 to get into. So when he does a free one, it's really, I was able to jump into a free one this week, and he said related to email marketing that he found a company that was spending, thousands of dollars on their marketing, and they were having no success. So they wanted Ryan to come in as a consultant to tell them what they were doing right, what they were doing wrong, and so forth. And he found out. Okay, I'm going to go to my picture now. He found out that what they were doing. So they had an email sequence, and they had a letter 1, a letter 2, letter 3. Okay, and they basically. This company may have had several products or maybe several features of the product that they were selling, but what this company was doing is they were essentially, letter 1 was the same as letter 2, which was the same as letter 3. They were sending almost the same information, almost identical copies of these letters each time, and they had been doing this for a really long time. So their list, essentially what that does is it does not develop a relationship with those people. And what Ryan said was, if they didn't buy from this letter, and this letter is the same letter, well, they're not going to buy on this letter. And if this letter is the same letter, well, they're not going to buy on that letter. He's like, so stop sending them the same letter, because you've essentially proven through very scientific information that they're not buying this concept. So what he encouraged them to do was to vary the letters out. So what I'm showing here is your email sequence. Okay, now I'm bringing in your blog, or you may have a marketing page. Okay, but essentially, I'm going to use the idea of the tools we have here with Aggresso Cybernetico. Is I would encourage you on your blog to build a page about each and every one of the products that we have within the e-commerce package for $25 a month. Okay, so in letter 1 is a letter about an autoresponder. Okay, so you can describe the benefits and so forth of having an autoresponder with a link to your blog page or to your marketing page about the Magic Responder. Okay, letter 2, we have another feature of a e-commerce package called the Webinar Utility, and that's what we're using right now. Excellent product, and So letter 2 can talk about the features and the benefits of the webinar utility. Now, I think you can blow people away with all the features because there are really, literally, it's the most beautiful product for webinars I think that exists on the planet. And you know, you would have an encyclopedia if you wrote a letter about it. So you can write just a few benefits and features. Go to then have that link to your page about the webinar on your blog. Okay, so you're mapping out your emails as well as developing pages on your blog. Okay. Now within your blog page, I'm going to show you how to structure your blog page. At the top of your blog page, you want a picture related to the product. Okay. Then you want an intro paragraph that's a couple lines, maybe 4 to 5 lines long. Okay. And then immediately under that intro paragraph, you want a video from YouTube. So you either create a video, maybe this could be your testimonial, or a desktop sharing where you're going and showing people the features of the video, or maybe giving a couple testimonials about people who have used that product. So you want the video right underneath this intro paragraph, and then underneath the video you want the main text. Now the reason I say to do it this way is a couple reasons, but the main reason I learned recently on an SEO webinar from a guy who's a Google expert is now when you do a Google search and you do a mouse over, in other words, a mouse over would mean that you just hover your mouse over a link. You didn't really click on it yet. You just hovered over it. Google actually now gives a small little pop-up and shows a preview of what that page looks like, and people are actually previewing pages sometimes before they click on them. And if your page is structured this way, it visually looks attractive in that preview. And you need, when you do anything you do, you basically want to get the biggest edge you can. So if something looks visually attractive in this preview, it'll have a higher click-through, and then that's the result you get. So this is how you create that visually attractive. You essentially, this main text will not show in the preview. You at least want the top part of this video. So this picture has to be not real tall. Okay, you want it to be full width across your screen. Well, it doesn't have to be all the way, but it can be wide as full width. But you don't want it to be really super tall. I have it tall here just so you can see it. But you actually kind of want this picture to be a little bit narrower than how much I've apportioned it here. And you want the paragraph and everything to be structured so that in this preview, and you can actually, maybe on a future video, I'll show you how to structure this preview and so forth. But you can actually look and see how your page will look like in this preview, because you want the video to at least start to appear in that preview. And what that'll do to your prospect looking is, if they see it's an attractive page with a little bit of text but a video, they're going to look at everybody else's results on Google and not see a video there more than likely, and they're going to say, well, this guy's got a video. I'm kind of in the mood to watch a video tonight, and they'll click on that, and then you'll get a better response and so forth. That's basically why I do that. So structure your letters to go to different products or different features of a product, and give people multiple views and multiple aspects to look at what you're trying to show them, as well as give them value. So, Michael and Quiz, is this making sense to you guys?
Yeah, for sure.
Makes perfect sense to me. I like the whole concept. In fact, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to do a blog on this coffee that I'm drinking right here. All right, check this stuff out. And I'm about to make a blog on how I actually make this coffee. I'm just kidding. Well, listen, I'm about to try to make the coffee, like, you know what I mean, like you guys ever remember the program MacGyver?
Yeah.
Oh man, listen. See, now I know I'm getting old. That's why I know I'm getting old. I actually found a couple of guys who actually remember that program. No, seriously, but that used to be a really cool program. That guy was so awesome. Imagine if MacGyver were a blogger. What kind of blog he would have, right?
Yeah, you'd probably it probably would make your computer screen rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Because he actually have computers nowadays, man. I seen that guy create a kite out of a match, a match and a shoestring. You know what I mean? Like, nah, MacGyver was awesome, man. That guy can make anything out of anything, man. All you need to do is every MacGyver episode was awesome because that guy was like, all right, all I have right now is a piece of napkin, I got a rubber band, and I got an old jar of mayonnaise.
That's some ingenuity there, right?
I just remember he was like on the top of this building and he did some kind of somersault and landed in a swimming pool.
Oh man, that was his action sequences, man. That guy used to be that guy was Mr. Wizard before there was Mr. Wizard. Shoot. Anyway, carry on, Brian. This is really interesting and fascinating stuff, actually.
Well, that's what I got for tonight. So we probably got about 40 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, listen, you know the thing that I'm always impressed by, Brian, is every time you go back and you show these tools, how to put them together. First off, I mean, somebody at home may not have known the proper way to structure their blog. Look, that was a throw-in, all right? Somebody is trying to figure out, how do I make my autoresponder email campaign really, really work? Well, I mean, you just showed us some really functional stuff in regards to that. And somebody still hasn't even watched last week's program about how to build a proper funnel, and you gave them a refresher on that. Aside from that, if you watched this program, you got tremendous value. I know I gave, first off, Brian is just so kind and gracious to actually add my baseball diamond of sales beneath this video. Aside from that, I gave a couple of detailed informations about sales that I don't release for free. He was talking about these guys doing webinars and stuff like that you have to pay for because the information is valuable. I do mastery recruitment seminars, and that's where you'd find some of the information I shared here tonight for free. And aside from that, just anytime we're able to get together, it's always going to be chock full of information. So, Mike, you're the casual observer. What do you think? Was this an impactful little webinar we hosted here? Did you find any value out of what we had to say here?
Oh yeah, for sure. Awesome. I mean, it's great value, like you said. You can't get this kind of value for free anywhere.
I haven't seen it anywhere out there. I'll tell you that much.
I haven't either.
And we're on YouTube right now, just broadcasting. So most people have some sort of issue that they're trying to overcome in this industry, even the ones who are successful. And I see no reason why somebody has not already subscribed to this YouTube channel or got on the mail list to get the newsletter. Brian, could you tell them a little bit of information about the newsletter that you send out through the email and the reason why they might want to join one of our mailing lists?
Well, if you go on to brandingmadeeasy.com, I'm going to have a form there for you to subscribe. Definitely want you to subscribe, and I from time to time I'm going to be having some special episodes, probably at least once a week, maybe even more often. Last week I had a really good special episode about the news with Google+. So anytime I come up with something that's earth-shaking news or maybe a great tip that's maybe not fitting in with the main storyline of what we're doing every week, I'm going to create it as a special episode, and that may have valuable tips. So get on our newsletter so you can hear about those special episodes.
That's right. And if you haven't got the word by now, Quizmaxing Social Media Professionals, we are all over the internet right now. And if you'd like to find out how to become part of this phenomenal organization, get with a social media professional near you. If not, find me. I'm anywhere on the internet. Quizmatics, that's K-W-I-Z, K as in King, W as in Wise, I as in Igloo, Z as in Zebra, M as in Math, A as in Arithmetic, T as in Time, I as in Ice, X as in Xerox. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me at my handle on Twitter or on Instagram and on TSU. Hey, Mike, how would somebody get in touch with you if they wanted to get in touch with you?
Me? Pretty much Just Facebook, pretty much. I'm on Twitter too, but I don't use Twitter all that much. I'm mostly just on Facebook. Michael J. Cooper, 1968, on Facebook.
Awesome, awesome. So
well, Twitter is going to be the topic of next week. So, Michael, I appreciate that you're here tonight, and I really feel that Victor has some really amazing information to share about Twitter. So, if he is willing to be a guest speaker next week, I am.
Only problem with the guest speaker is you got to remember that Victor is in the UK, so we are way beyond his bedtime right now. But listen, I'll be more than happy to share.
We'll probably have to do a special episode with Victor.
Yeah, no problem. But I mean, the information that Victor has, I'm gonna be honest with you, we can still do that information anyway, because I got news for you that he's already actually done. He has a wonderful webinar series that I think that somebody should just go and check out. The Office of Information is fantastic, and we just got finished doing a Office of Information. Brian, did you check out the last program of Office of Information that we did?
I know I was on one of them.
Oh my goodness, Mike. The last Office of Information, I had to stop the freaking program. I mean, Victor was just a mad scientist. He was giving everything away for free. I was like, man, Quizmax Inc., man, my organization is so awesome. I can't even contain the information these guys are giving out, Mike. I mean, seriously, like, we got into webinars, man. This guy, Victor, he must have gone through about 6 programs, literally 6 programs that'll turn you into social media professional. I was like, Victor, you trying to put us out of business? They want to be social media professionals. What's the sense in me?
I thought I had some pretty cool Twitter ideas. Now, all I've really done is I have made it so that when I post on Facebook, it takes that same Facebook information and posts it on Twitter. By the nature of Twitter, you can do that, and it doesn't hurt your Twitter profile. If you were to go the other way around, if you were to take Twitter and you can do that. You can send Twitter to Facebook. It doesn't create a very attractive Facebook post. So
no, not at all.
Probably ignore you.
Twitter is a great place, and the thing I want to let you know about Twitter, Mike, if you haven't found out already, Twitter is a great place to be for business. If you're a business owner, Twitter is the place to be. People on Twitter are a little bit different than Facebook. Those guys who market on Twitter are there usually 24/7. They're not there all day, but realistically, there are certain high traffic value times that you can find on Twitter. And if you want to find out information about those times, either tune into more programming that we offer here at Quizmax Inc., whether it's Brandon Made Easy, whether it's the Office of Information with Victor Toby, or any of my programming. And if you can't find anything else, you can find me on Pinterest. I have a wonderful board. I can't even direct them there. You know the reason why? Because it'd really be like it'd be really like we're really giving everything away at that point.
You guys do anything with Instagram?
Absolutely. Instagram is my favorite site. But I'll share something with you, Mike, and you may not know this, but ever since I've been on TSU, I really don't have much need for my Instagram anymore. I know that's shocking. My favorite social media site of all has been pretty much made, I can't remember the last time I logged into Instagram, because TSU, I could do everything I do on Instagram on TSU, and I have a platform to fall back on. So, and I also train on TSU, and on TSU I could send out information from there to pretty much most of the social media platforms right from TSU. So if you don't know about it, find us on TSU. But Brian, I think that we've gone well over and beyond our time here this evening. It's been a pleasure speaking with you wonderful gentlemen, and I look forward to the next episode of Brandon Made Easy. Brian, could you give us a little bit of foreshadowing into some topics you might want to cover next week?
Well, I was thinking Twitter, but if Victor is not available this time, we'll have to do that as a special episode. So I'm gonna probably take a look at the funnel and figure out how we can develop the story further from there.
All right, awesome. Well, I think that we've covered enough information here. And again, you can also find that information if you're not able to attend next week's meeting. You can also find the Office of Information. Victor has a phenomenal program. We just got finished doing a webinar today for Worldwide Success KMX. That's awesome as well. So figure out a way to get with us, find us, or join us on our team. It's certainly not going to hurt you. It's only going to help. And we look forward to seeing you later in the future. So on behalf of Michael, on behalf of Brian Lath, and myself, Quiz, of Quizmax Inc., we salute you. Have a fantastic evening, and hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you very much.